still get the creeps just thinking about it. The mental trauma I endured from the horrendous depictions of what transpired several years ago still appear in my head from time to time. I currently see a psychiatrist to help ease the mental anguish, as I now have a tendency of spasming out during my sleep from the nightmares that manifest every night. It all started when I was in my freshman year in college. I was studying to be an accountant, which was relatively difficult considering the overwhelming amount of math that went along with it. I worked a lot of jobs on the side, apart from doing school full-time, such as being a part-time cashier at a coffee shop located in the building of my school campus. Getting paid minimum wage obviously didn't suffice my financial situation, which is why I applied to various jobs online for the latter part of my downtime during work. Paying off student loans wasn't an easy thing for students coming fresh off high school like myself, which is why I would take any small gigs I could get my hands on, like mowing the grass or shoveling snow during the winter time around my neighborhood. I even started babysitting for any close friends or relatives of mine, which is why I tended to ask around the family, and even went as far to ask my fellow colleagues, despite the obvious desperate aura I gave off. I realized that babysitting was the perfect gig for me, as it gave me the opportunity to focus on my schoolwork, while the kids were usually masqueraded in the background, playing their video games or were asleep in their beds. There was this one guy in my class named Jack, who I would usually do assignments and exam preparations with, who referred me to this one babysitting gig he was fond of. Hey, do you still need a babysitting job? Of course, dude. Do you have any? I do. My dad's friend has been asking around for anyone who wants to babysit his kids. Hell yeah. Sign me up, dude. Well, there's a catch. One of the kids is apparently older than us, like in his mid-20s. What the hell?
Oh no.
Why would I babysit a grown man? Well, not to be rude, but he is a little cuckoo. I even remember babysitting for them one time, and it was definitely an interesting experience. How so? He's just a weird individual. Imagine a 5-year-old in a grown man's body. That's how it was like, but at least his parents paid me pretty well. How much? About $200 a night. Plus tip if you did a great job, or if you make it out there alive. You still interested?
What?
Sure, dude.
Hell
That's when Jack sends me the contact information.
Hold up. It's a guy in his mid-20s, right? In a 5-year-old body that you fencing to babysit? Bro, I'm gonna have to bring a weapon, a shotgun or something, bro.
The family, as I sat and pondered if taking the gig was a smart idea.
That job
I couldn't help but think of my school loans, which is why I highly considered taking the job, as I was in desperate need for any extra income without too much interference in my schoolwork. Regardless or not, I ended up saving the details on my phone and began sitting through the rest of the class lecture till it was time for dismissal. I remember taking public transit when heading home, as I decided to give the number a text, asking if there was any demand for babysitting services readily available. The number texted back, asking who I was and how I got their number. I then responded with my name Matt, and how my friend Jack referred me. The individual then asked if I could babysit for a duration of an entire weekend, which consisted of 3 days and 2 nights. I was honestly hesitant on taking the deal, but eventually came to terms with it, as the thought of $200 a night plus a tip was a bargain I couldn't turn down. When the day finally came to fruition, I made my way there by taking an Uber and getting dropped off at the address given. As I approached the front of the house, I could see a vague figure staring at me from behind the curtain of the window upstairs. I assumed that it had to be the older son my friend Jack was talking about. I casually approached the doorstep and began knocking on the door, only to be kindly greeted by the parents and the younger son of the family. Hey Matt, it's nice to meet you. Hey, listen, I left you guys around $200 on the kitchen counter, just in case you wanted to order something. Awesome, thank you so much. You guys are coming back Sunday morning, right? Yes, sir. I'm sure you'll have a blast
Oh
taking
my
care of
God.
my children. Is there any other
Oh, yeah,
kids
how
I
was your
should be
Friday?
introduced to?
I
Yes, of course. Here's my youngest son, Timothy, and our oldest son, Charles,
Oh my
is
God, I'm just not
probably upstairs
noticing.
watching
I
TV
haven't
or something.
uploaded in like
Charles, come
3,
downstairs and say
4
hi to your
months.
babysitter. Me no like strangers.
Oh my God.
I gotta hit install the Chime app today and get started.
Ignore that, right?
Get down here or else you're grounded. Leave me alone or I call cops. Sorry for the inconvenience, Matt. You'll eventually run into him. He's usually more friendly when you get to know him. That's alright. I just
You get
hope
to
he
know
doesn't
him.
mind my company. That's when the dad and mom abruptly zone out, as if my statement had triggered a gaunt emotion. I was a little puzzled at their stare, as it legitimately looked like their souls had left their bodies. That's when the dad snaps out of it and says, I think you
That's the stare that you get when you did something bad and you lie about it right in front of their face. That's the stare.
guys should be fine. Me and my wife need to go and celebrate our anniversary now, okay? Just don't forget to fill the Chihuahua's dog bowl when it's empty and call me if you need anything. Alright, Matt? Okay, sir. Throughout the day, I spent the latter part of my time studying and working on school assignments, while the younger son Timothy played video games on his PlayStation console in the living room. I found it quite peaceful, as the son didn't require much maintenance, nor did the other son, who was allegedly still upstairs in his bedroom. As the sun began to set, I couldn't help but fix myself a sandwich, as my stomach began to rumble. I remember asking Timothy if he wanted me to fix him something, but it was pretty evident that he was too invested in his video game, while simultaneously chomping on a bag of chips he had sitting next to him. That's when I made it to the kitchen and began spreading peanut butter and jelly on a slice of bread on the counter. I then saw a family portrait sitting next to the windowsill of the kitchen. I noticed it was a picture of the parents, Timothy, and of course their older son, Charles, who happened to skyscrape over the entire family from how tall he was. I was a bit taken aback that now I was faced with the responsibility of taking care of a grown man of his stature, considering he was older and a lot bigger than I was. As I surveyed the kitchen, I began to see more family portraits, except the majority of them had another younger boy in the photos. That's when I began to head back to the living room and couldn't help but ask Timothy who the other boy was in the family portraits. Timothy then responds with, his name was Max, and he was my older brother who passed away. I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh, I wonder how he
If you don't
passed
mind
away.
me asking, how did he die? Apparently my Rottweiler bit him to death while my parents were out of town, which is why they had to give him away and get a Chihuahua. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. If I tell you something, do you promise not to tell anyone? Yeah, of course. What is it, kiddo? I don't believe it was the dog. I believe it was Charles that killed him.
What?
Why do you say that?
He didn't eat that
Because
nigga.
he's a spoiled brat and I hate him. Why do you hate him? Why you talk about me? Leave us alone, Charles. Me no like him. And me no like you. Hey,
And
it's
me no
finally
like-
nice to meet you, Charles. My name is
English for a sec.
Matt. No, it's not. Your name is Liar. No, Charles. My name is Matt. You liar. You believe him and no believe me. Charles, I do believe you.
What?
Okay? That's when Charles
Your
made his
name
way
is
back to his
Liar.
bedroom upstairs, while intentionally pounding his feet on the staircase and yelling stuff like, You let Doggy kill baby Max. That's why he died, you liar. I then offered to play video games with Timothy, while Charles began making obstructive noises like banging his fists against the wall. I was honestly terrified, but I tried disregarding it, as I wanted to comfort Timothy, who was visibly upset and
That's
shaken
sad
from the
if
whole
you terrified of
confrontation
a
with
20-year-old
Charles.
grown man that's
The time
bigger
was
than
around 12 in the morning when it was time to head to bed. I remember tucking Timothy in his bed sheets, and then discreetly walking past Charles's bedroom, in which I could vaguely see him staring at me through the small opening of his door.
He
Hey,
looks
Charles,
like
do you need me to
7'8".
get you anything before bed?
Nigga like Shaq
Yes.
height.
Me
The
want
Taco
you go get
Fall height.
cup of Timothy's blood. Sorry, Charles, I can't do that.
What?
Me want to drink your blood then. Charles, please stop joking. It's not funny.
He's
Me
offering
no
his
try to be
own
funny.
blood.
Me just want revenge. Revenge? Revenge for what? Me want revenge for Max. That's when Charles slammed his door on my face, as his intimidation had me shaken to my core, as I began stumbling to
Oh
the guest
my
room in
God.
fear. I then crawled under the bed sheets and honestly couldn't help but think of what Charles meant by revenge for Max, and why the hell he would ask for a cup of mine or Timothy's blood. Nonetheless, I disregarded the bizarre encounter and began watching
That nigga
some
gonna be a
movies on the
dog or
television
something.
to hopefully lull myself to
It's
sleep.
gonna be like a 7'8"
About an hour
dog.
later, I had awoken from my sleep from a loud thud in the hallway.
He didn't
I
kill
decided to
Timothy.
check my cell phone for the time. That's when I saw about 100 missed calls and texts from the parents of the boys. I was a bit annoyed at myself as I could tell that they'd been trying to reach out to me since their initial departure, but my phone was irresponsibly on silent. I then scanned through the messages and could see texts saying stuff like, "Don't forget to give Charles his meds before bed," or "Please find the meds sitting by the kitchen table. He needs to take 2 tablets before bedtime every day." That's when I immediately sprung up from my bed to head to the kitchen. As I opened my bedroom door, I could see Charles standing next to Timothy's bed, covered in blood. I could also see the walls and ground of the hallway smeared and stained as well, as it honestly looked like a bloodbath or a scene pulled from the horror movie The Shining. "Charles, what the hell happened?" That's when Charles gave me a sinister smile, with blood all over his mouth. I began to zoom past him and into Timothy's bedroom. I then saw Timothy laying on his bed, with half of his face obliterated and his chest cavity opened up, as if a stray dog had viciously tore his limbs to shreds. His internal organs were scattered all over the bed, while his bed sheets were completely soaked in blood. I noticed the Chihuahua was sitting next to Timothy's remains, while whimpering heavily, as if it was just as appalled as I was. No. The dog ate him.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Well, anyways, you guys, I have to spend like 38 hours editing this video because it takes a while for stuff to load because I'm actually not on my phone right now, as usual. So, we're going to end it here because that was way too long. It was like 13 minutes, but for me, it's too long. Anyways, see you later. Make sure to subscribe to Gaze Creepy, Horror Short Films. Make sure to subscribe to them. Shout out to them. I have less subscribers than them, but we're gonna ignore it, right? We're gonna ignore it, right? So, yeah, I'm supposed to end this video off, but yeah, this one is really what I do. Alright, bye. Oh my God. Well, anyways, you guys, I have to spend like 38 hours editing this video because it takes a while for stuff to load because I'm actually not on my phone right now, as usual. So, we're gonna end it here because that was way too long. It was like 13 minutes. But for me, it's too long. Anyways, see you later. Make sure to subscribe to Gaze Creepy, Horror Short Films. Make sure to subscribe to them. Shout out to them. I have less subscribers than them, but we're gonna ignore it, right? We're gonna ignore it, right? So, yeah, I'm supposed to end this video off, but yeah, this one is really